Hey, welcome to the Explainer. We're going to jump right in today with a really big idea, how just a few words can literally change everything. So, think about it for a second. Can a few words really change everything? It sounds simple, right? But it's actually at the core of what we're talking about. I'm going to walk you through this incredible story that shows, the right words at the right time, they can make all the difference in the world. Okay, so let's set the scene. Picture this: a big, busy city street. You know the kind. People are rushing all over the place, totally in their own worlds. And right there, sitting on the steps of some building, is a young boy. He's blind, and he's just trying to get by. So, to let folks know what's going on, he's got this sign next to him. And it's about as direct as you can get. It just says, "I'm blind, please help." No mystery there, right? It's a simple fact. It tells you his situation, and it tells you what he's asking for. But here's the thing. Even with all those people walking by, the sign, it just wasn't really working. Most people just walked right past him. At the end of the day, you look in his hat, and there are just a few lonely coins rattling around. So that's our before picture, our starting point. Okay, so then this man comes along, and he's different. He doesn't just walk by, he actually stops and he just watches for a little while. He takes it all in: the boy, the sign, the hat with its few coins, all the people rushing past. And after a moment, he walks right up to the boy. And he asks this really interesting question. He says something like, "Hey, do you mind if I change this sign you have there?" Now, the boy's probably a little confused, right? But hey, what's he got to lose? So he says okay. So the man picks up the cardboard sign, flips it over to the blank side, and just writes something new. He doesn't tell the boy what he wrote. He just puts the sign back down, gives him a little pat on the shoulder, and goes on his way. All right, now let's jump forward. It's the end of the day. The boy is still there in the same spot, but you can probably guess something is totally, completely different. I mean, just look at this difference. It's night and day. His hat, the one that only had a few coins, it's now overflowing. And it's not just money either. People left him flowers and even some food. The change was huge, and it happened right away. So later on, the boy hears these footsteps coming towards him, and he knows them. He instantly recognizes them. It's the man from that morning. And you better believe he's got a question for him. He has to know what changed. So the boy calls out, "You're the one who changed my sign this morning." He tells the man how much of a difference it made. And that asks the question that we're all thinking: What did you write? He knew, without a doubt, that whatever was on that sign was the reason for all of this. And this is what the man wrote: "Today is a beautiful day, but I cannot see it." Wow! Let that sink in for a second. Just a handful of words, and they changed everything. So what's the magic here? Why did this work so much better? Well, think about it. The first sign, "I'm blind, please help," just stated a fact. It was a request. But the second sign, it did something so much smarter. It created a feeling. It created a connection. Yeah, it totally shifted the whole perspective. It made people walking by stop and think, wow, it is a beautiful day. It made them appreciate what they had, the ability to see the sun, the sky, the city. And in that same moment, it made them feel for the boy who was missing out on all of it. It wasn't about pity anymore. It was about empathy. And look, this isn't just a nice story, right? This is a huge lesson for all of us in our own lives. It's all about how we communicate. The way you frame what you say, the words you choose, can completely change the result you get.
So, what are we really learning here? Well, first off, a statement that really means something can make all the difference. It's about taking a simple fact and presenting it in a way that hits home. You got to make the other person feel what you're saying, you know? Because at the end of the day, that feeling is what drives people to act.
Okay, so how can you actually use this? It's pretty simple, really. Just three things to keep in mind. One, think before you speak. Seriously, just take a second to consider the impact your words will have. Two, speak clearly. Sometimes this simplest message is the most powerful one. And three, and this one is so important, listen. Communication is a two-way street. You have to listen to understand. And that really brings us to the final question for you. Think about your life, your job, your family, your friends. Where is there one small place, just one conversation, where changing just a few words could make a huge difference? Something to think about, for sure. Thanks so much for joining me.